Tommy has an actual black brother, not just ghosts. He ready to confront all of his family skeletons and new enemies in Chicago? What's good, y'all? It's your good sis Erica Vane coming to you right here on Erica Vane TV, giving you Power Book for Force breakdowns, character descriptions, plot tracking, and more. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on your bell notifications so that you don't miss any of my Power Book 4 Force coverage. I have deep dived into Power Book 2 Ghosts. All of those videos are available on the channel right now. If you have missed anything or you want to go back and check those out, you are free to do so after this video. And we will be opening the crates and going back to do full breakdowns on Power, because as we go along with each of these stories and these spinoffs, we are learning that there are even more Power Universe original Power seeds planted in each of these spinoffs that we're gonna need to know. So I will be going back and doing Power breakdowns, so look out for that. Make sure that you're subscribed with your bell notification on so that you don't miss any of those videos. But without further ado, let's talk about Power Book 4 Force Episode 1. Tommy makes an unplanned pit stop in Chicago after driving out of New York and struggling with all of the loss he experienced in the last 5 years. He has visions of Lakeisha, Raina's funeral, overhears his mother explaining how he just can't run, which sets the tone for the entire episode. Tommy seemingly popping up in Chicago is him clearly in search of something. Throughout the episode, Tommy gets a few calls from Rodolfo, pushing him to get to LA because he's already late and has work to do. Rodolfo winds up serving as one of the 3 reasons I believe Tommy decides in this episode to stay in Chicago, because he's his own man and is done working for anyone else, and going to LA will put him right back in that position of being a worker instead of a leader, and he is done with that life. Again, that is one, probably the smallest reason, and I will break down the other 2 in this video, so keep watching. As Tommy enters Chicago, the first place he goes to is his grandmother's old house, but she's been moved to a nursing home. Instead of going straight to Miriam Egan's at the nursing home, he swings by a bar where he meets and connects with Gloria, and we're gonna come back to Gloria in a second. After finally making it to the nursing home, showing his grandmother a picture and having her recognize him, Tommy is approached by JP Gibbs, who he learns is his brother. Egan sure can keep a secret. Tommy didn't know who his real father was until the 11th hour in Power, and is just now learning about JP. And if Kate wasn't dead to Tommy before, she is certainly dead to him now. This brings me to the second reason why Tommy decides to stay in Chicago: family. He clearly has some issues to confront and things he needs to heal from with his grandmother, whom he hadn't seen since he was 4 years old. There is more family knowledge that he needs to gain, which will probably come from JP, who gave Tommy his number, and Tommy ultimately decides to keep in this episode. And while Tommy is a man on his own, he is very much searching for a home, and what better place to build one than amongst family. Now, the third reason Tommy is staying in Chicago is because of the Flynn family. And we need to talk about how their various run-ins in episode 1 shapes Tommy's decision the most. Tommy's first run-in with them is over a parking spot at the bar. Simon and Vic are overly aggressive and hot-headed, while Uncle Paulie is cool and diffuses the situation quickly. Vic and Gloria, we learn, are a thing, or were a thing. It's some deep history there that Gloria has seemed to release while Vic can't seem to let go of. This is going to be a problem because it's clear that Gloria and Tommy connected, and later on in this episode physically connect, and Tommy has already had a run-in with Vic regarding the parking spot. What is it going to look like when Vic finds out that Tommy is smashing the love of his life? Simon, also involved in the parking lot altercation, later feels the pain of his disrespect and over eagerness with the parking spot, but also for how he roughly handles Gloria as Tommy watches and then follows him out to the back of the bar. There he breaks his wrist, takes his phone, and finds out that there's going to be a drop tonight, which he chooses to crash. Tommy uses Simon's phone to get the drop on Vic and crashes the re-up from Yardies, and in the process learns how stupid Vic is by coming to the table light, without having all the money needed to cop. If this was the actual connect and not 2 tweakers that were at the meeting, then things would have gone way worse. In the weirdest re-up I've ever seen on TV from some tweakers, Owen and Bruno, that were sent by the Connect, Tommy winds up saving the day as Jenard's gun jams in the shootout between the tweakers. In exchange for saving their lives, Tommy takes the product and the money, which Jenard doesn't like, but he can respect. And Vic becomes even more salty about it. But we will talk more about Jenard Sampson and his brother Diamond in a few, because those 2 brothers are going to be vital to Tommy setting up shop in Chicago and staying alive. The audience and Tommy learn together how unprepared Vic is for the life, being hot-headed and coming to the pickup without all the money that he needs. We hear Claudia say to Walter that Vic can't handle his position and how she should be installed to help him because he ain't built for this. Claudia is clearly desperate for more power, money, and respect, but will not get it as long as her old school gangster father, Walter Flynn, sits at the head of the table with his beliefs that women's place is not in the streets and women can't do much with their hands and thin physiques. Claudia goes on to check Vic directly for attempting to cop from the Yardies, who are known to have a terrible product, especially with the feds sniffing around the Flynn family and the fact that they don't even sell coke. She might be onto something and be a real boss in the making, and after seeing this episode, it's clear that she's not going to settle for being pushed to the back and hushed. Later on, Claudia meets up with a mystery woman in the club that she takes back to her penthouse, who gives her a few hits of a drug that Claudia seems to see potential business in. And who knows, maybe Tommy will be involved in helping her get that off the ground, since she can't work with her family in that way. Walter Flynn warns Tommy to get out of his city, and this is what I mean by the Flynn family is the third and probable most important reason why Tommy is staying. Tommy is a renegade, and the quickest way to get him to do what you want him to do is tell him not to do it. In this case, Walter Flynn snatches him up, brings him to the Flynn's home for a confrontation, and then tells him to get out of the city, which pushes him ultimately to stay. Okay, let's talk about the Sampson brothers in this episode. Diamond Sampson is on his last day in the pen, and his fellow inmates are plotting on his downfall before he can even step out. I definitely think the old man and he is shaping up is in danger, as the inmates are plotting to get back at him once he gets settled out in the real world. It makes you wonder, how did this gentle giant find himself with these enemies, because it's clear right away that he is different, and as he says, 15 years in has changed him. His little brother Jenard scoops him up in a Lamborghini truck, which also tells us a lot about the brothers. Jenard is flashy and into the fast life, while Diamond values the little things and wants a slow and meaningful life. This was driven home as we see how much respect the CEOs have for Diamond, and him returning the great gesture, allowing the CEOs to keep his limited edition Jordans after they give him a barber set that he has used while in prison. We learn that Diamond founded the Chicago Brothers Incorporated, CBI, which Jenard has been left to lead for the last 15 years while Diamond was in prison. They have two different perspectives and ways of running things, and this is going to definitely be a conflict for them later on in the season. But for now, Jenard is keeping it respectful and answering all the questions his big brother Diamond has for him. Jenard is there for the run-in with the tweakers, and as he's explaining it to Diamond, it sounds unbelievable and prompts Diamond to say, "Let's find Casper," talking about Tommy. Next episode, we will see Diamond seeking Tommy out, and maybe it's just in time as Tommy chooses to stay after Walter Flynn tells him that this is his last chance to go. While catching Diamond up on what's going on, we learn that all the crews that Diamond remembers are either gone, down bad, or fighting. So if he chooses to keep the CBI going, they're gonna have to completely rebuild. Jenard gives Diamond a barbershop that was very special to him, as Diamond reminds him that this is where they were born and baptized. The barbershop, while very important, could present to be a problem later on in the season, as Jenard needs Diamond to get back to business with him, but Diamond has decided that he is done and doesn't want to kill or hustle anymore. I think I'm most excited to see the Sampson brothers and how their storylines play out over the season, because it's clear that they love each other, but being almost opposites could truly tear this family apart. And if Tommy gets involved with them and he doesn't want to work for them, will they be okay with working for Tommy? My guess is Jenard won't, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. I absolutely loved episode 1. It was giving feature film cinematic vibes with a clear Tommy spin on the original Power. So just like the original Power felt like Ghost, this spinoff feels like Tommy. Everything from the coloring to the pacing, the violence, the sex, the drugs, all of it. They definitely knocked it out of the park with the pilot, but I would love to know what you think in the comment section down below. What was your favorite thing from the episode? What are you expecting in episode 2? What are you most excited about for Tommy's spinoff? Let me know all of that and more in the comment section down below. If you made it all the way to the end of this video and you haven't hit subscribe yet, go ahead, hit that button and turn on the bell notification so that you don't miss any of my PowerBook 4 Force videos. You can jump into all of my PowerBook 2 Ghost videos as you wait for the rest of my PowerBook 4 Force videos to upload, as I will be bringing you new videos every day this week, deep diving into these characters, previewing with the trailer and what we can expect, giving you predictions and more. See you in the next one.